The global hotel industry was once dominated by large chains and independent hotels, providing a consistent but often expensive experience for travelers. But in 2008, a startup called Airbnb began shaking up the hospitality world. What started as a simple idea to rent out air mattresses in someone's living room has evolved into a multi-billion-dollar company, dramatically altering the way we travel. In today's video, we'll take a deep dive into how Airbnb disrupted the traditional hotel industry and what that means for travelers, hotel operators, and the future of hospitality. The rise of Airbnb. Let's rewind to the beginning. Airbnb was founded in 2008 by Brian Chesky, Joe Gebbia, and Nathan Blecharczyk. The idea was sparked when Chesky and Gebbia couldn't afford the rent for their San Francisco apartment. The city was hosting a major conference and all the hotels were booked. So they thought, why not rent out air mattresses to attendees? They put up a simple website called Airbed and Breakfast, and within days, they had 3 guests sleeping in their apartment. What started as an air mattress rental evolved quickly. The founders realized that people were willing to pay to stay in unique, affordable places that offered a more personal experience than a standard hotel. By providing a platform for homeowners to rent out their spare rooms, apartments, or even entire homes, Airbnb was born. Within just a few years, the company expanded globally and began shaking the very foundations of the hotel industry. The traditional hotel model vs. Airbnb. To understand Airbnb's disruptive impact, it's important to look at the traditional hotel industry. Hotels are expensive to build, maintain, and operate. Large hotel chains like Hilton, Marriott, and Hyatt spend millions of dollars on real estate, staffing, and operations to ensure they meet the high expectations of guests. This overhead results in higher room rates, making hotel stays unaffordable for some travelers. In contrast, Airbnb offers a platform for hosts, ordinary people with extra space to list their properties with minimal upfront costs. Homeowners don't need to spend millions building a hotel, they just need a room or an apartment to rent out. This reduces overhead significantly and allows for much more competitive pricing. As a result, travelers are offered more affordable options, often with more personalized and unique experiences. Hotels have long been associated with consistency. You know what you're going to get: clean sheets, room service, and standard amenities. But for many modern travelers, especially millennials and digital nomads, consistency isn't as appealing as it once was. Today's travelers are seeking experiences that are more authentic, local, and immersive. Airbnb tapped into this desire by allowing people to stay in residential neighborhoods, interact with locals, and live like a local rather than a tourist. The sharing economy. At the heart of Airbnb's disruption is the rise of the sharing economy. The sharing economy is based on peer-to-peer transactions where people share resources, whether it's a car like Uber and Lyft or an apartment like Airbnb, rather than owning or using something provided by a business. Airbnb leveraged this trend by creating a platform that allowed ordinary people to monetize their unused spaces. For travelers, the appeal was clear: they could stay in a unique place, save money, and experience a destination in a way that a standard hotel couldn't offer. Hosts, on the other hand, saw an opportunity to earn extra income without having to make huge investments. This win-win scenario attracted both hosts and guests in droves, leading to Airbnb's rapid growth. By 2015, just 7 years after its founding, Airbnb had more than 1.5 million listings in 190 countries. Its presence was being felt in cities around the world, from New York to Paris to Tokyo. And with millions of users booking stays on Airbnb, it was clear that this wasn't just a passing trend. It was a major disruption to the hotel industry. How Airbnb changed traveler expectations. Before Airbnb, the hotel experience was largely the same wherever you went: check in at a front desk, stay in a room with standard amenities, and check out after your stay. Hotels focused on consistency and reliability, but Airbnb introduced an entirely new model of travel that emphasized uniqueness and flexibility. Instead of booking a generic hotel room, travelers could now choose from an array of accommodations, ranging from a spare bedroom in a local's house to an entire villa overlooking the ocean. They could filter listings based on their specific needs, whether they wanted a kitchen, a private pool, or proximity to local attractions. This level of customization was something that hotels struggled to match. Moreover, Airbnb stays often provided a more personal touch. Many hosts offer recommendations on local spots to visit, restaurants to try, and activities to experience, something that most hotel concierges don't provide with the same level of detail or personal connection. For travelers seeking to live like locals, Airbnb was the perfect solution. In addition, the rise of Airbnb led to increased expectations for affordability. As more budget-conscious travelers turned to Airbnb, hotels were forced to lower prices or offer more competitive packages to attract guests. This created a ripple effect across the hospitality industry, pushing hotels to reconsider their pricing strategies, upgrade their offerings, and explore new ways to retain customers. Impact on the hotel industry. The hotel industry, at first, underestimated Airbnb's potential. Many saw it as a niche market, catering to backpackers or budget travelers. But as Airbnb grew, hotels began to realize the platform wasn't just for low-cost alternatives, it was becoming a serious competitor in the broader travel market. Airbnb has significantly impacted hotel revenues, with cities like New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco experiencing declines in bookings and occupancy rates. During peak events such as conferences and festivals, travelers increasingly choose Airbnb over traditional hotels, leading to noticeable drops in hotel demand during busy travel periods. Airbnb disrupted the hotel industry by sparking debates around regulations and taxes. While hotels face strict zoning laws, safety inspections, and taxes, Airbnb initially avoided these rules as part of the sharing economy. In response, cities introduced regulations requiring Airbnb hosts to pay taxes and limit rental nights. Despite this, Airbnb's flexibility has allowed it to adapt and continue growing, challenging the traditional hotel industry's regulatory framework. Challenges faced by Airbnb. While Airbnb's rise has been remarkable, it hasn't been without its challenges. One of the biggest criticisms the company faces is its impact on local housing markets. In popular tourist destinations, homeowners have found it more profitable to rent out their properties on Airbnb rather than to long-term tenants. This has contributed to housing shortages and skyrocketing rents in some cities, leading to protests and backlash from residents. Cities like Barcelona, Amsterdam, and New York have introduced stricter regulations on short-term rentals to address these concerns. In some cases, hosts are required to register their properties with local authorities, and limits have been placed on how often they can rent out their homes. These regulations aim to strike a balance between supporting tourism and protecting local housing markets. Additionally, Airbnb has faced legal battles over issues like guest safety, discrimination, and accountability. Since Airbnb properties are not subject to the same rigorous inspections as hotels, some travelers have reported subpar experiences or unsafe conditions. In response, Airbnb has introduced new policies to address these concerns, such as guest reviews, host verification, and guarantees for both hosts and guests. The future of travel and hospitality. Despite these challenges, Airbnb's disruption of the hotel industry shows no signs of slowing down. The company continues to expand its offerings, including launching Airbnb Experiences, where travelers can book local tours, classes, and activities hosted by locals. By diversifying beyond just accommodation, Airbnb is positioning itself as a one-stop shop for unique travel experiences. For hotels, the rise of Airbnb has forced them to rethink their business models. Some have embraced the experience trend, offering more personalized and local experiences for guests. Others are partnering with home-sharing platforms or launching their own versions of short-term rental services. Marriott, for example, has launched its own home rental service called Homes Villas, blending traditional hotel standards with the flexibility of short-term rentals. Conclusion: Airbnb's journey from a simple air mattress rental to a global powerhouse has fundamentally changed the travel and hospitality landscape. By leveraging the sharing economy, meeting the demand for unique and affordable travel experiences, and challenging the traditional hotel business model, Airbnb has disrupted an industry that had remained largely unchanged for decades. As the travel landscape continues to evolve, the competition between hotels and Airbnb will only intensify, leading to new innovations and, ultimately, a more diverse and dynamic experience for travelers worldwide. Whether you're a fan of Airbnb or prefer the consistency of hotels, there's no denying that the way we travel has changed forever.